Jared Bednar, go ahead, Evan.
Seemed like tie game when you guys were controlling the majority of the play the first two periods. What did you kind of see flipping there?
Oh, I don't know what happened at the start there. Mismanaging the puck and then just not heading to the right spot. So, I mean, the start of the third was horrible. But I agree with that. It's hard to be critical after the first when I felt like we were playing really good. We just couldn't buy a goal, and, they got a couple chances and put them in the back of the net. So, come back out storming out in the second period and square it, and then we make a mistake and it ends up in the back of our net, and we come back again to tie it. And so I'm thinking we're going to have a really good third, but the start of that third was too sloppy, and they came out working and we were kicking the puck around, and they earned another couple chances and buried them. So then it was out of reach.
Megan, the Nerf.
When it comes to the power play, what are some of the challenges, if any, when it comes to proposing new ideas, implementing them, especially considering there are aspects of it that should be unchanged because they're just so essential?
Yeah, I think it's balancing, doing the right thing all the time, being critical of execution, and it's got to be five guys on the same page, right? And a little bit like our 5-on-5 recently in some of our losses. It's like you got four guys doing the right thing and then one guy kind of on his own page, and then we don't have the out we need or whatever, so there's too many, forced plays that I think we can keep in the zone. But all five of those guys are working to get on the same page, and some of our chances, like tonight, the chances aren't coming at the pace we want them to come at. But if you look at, there's a handful of really good chances from the slot that we don't capitalize on. So then you do the right thing and we get a good chance, and we're just having a tough time repeating that. I think confidence is down on the power play a little bit. So, being too critical, kind of balancing how much we get after our guys and how much we try and encourage our guys, and fighting the urge to flip guys off and try new guys all the time is sort of the toughest challenge we have right now.
Eric, then Ryan.
To kind of add to that, it did feel like the first two power plays in the first looked, a lot better than the ones in the third. Is that just like frustrations and players kind of being upset with how it's going as the game goes on?
I think it's more feeling the urgency and forcing it in the third period. Like we did have the flurry, like Cale gets a couple looks from the middle, walking right down. We missed the net on a couple of our chances. We had one more good look. I think it was Olsen on the one-timer in the third period from the middle. And then retrievals and forcing it, or not making the easy play to the outlet, or not working to be the outlet quick enough. We're digging into all of it, right? But it seems like it's one power play, it's one thing, and then every time they get a clear, if they're not getting to the loose puck first, then we have to make something happen and be able to survive it to extend ozone time. And right now it just seems like we're kind of one and done a little bit there.
Right.
How difficult is it to balance between, getting shots on net on the power play and trying to manage the desperation, especially when you're behind? And how difficult is it to, remain disciplined under pressure?
It's been a challenge. Like just shot selection and when to shoot and when not to shoot is like, we want to be an attacking power play that is shooting it. But there's also an element of patience and taking what the team gives you, that, and being able to work through their pressure. That's a little bit of a challenge. I don't know, like the urgency I feel like is there. I think we're lacking a little bit more on the decision-making process, like throughout the course of a power play at times. So I think that's been hurting us as much as anything. And execution.
Calling the Jesse.
After the Predators loss, you had said that the team didn't play full 60 minutes. Do you feel that is the same way tonight? Did you see similarities in those two?
Well, again, I can't. I'm not going to be critical of our team for the first period just because we come out of it down 2-0. Did I like the goals they got? No. One's a power play and one, is a little bit of a lucky bounce. He shoots it, we block it, it goes right back on his tape. But like I liked our first period a lot, and a lot of the things we did and we talked about going into the game. And then same thing with the second. So you got 40 minutes under your belt where you're playing real well, confidence is high, and then you come out and make a lot of bad mistakes and do some strange things at the start of the third period that cost you, right? So that part of the game, the first, 4 or 5 minutes of the third period I didn't like. But you can't have windows like that in tie games going into the third period, right?
Jesse?
Cale made the point to single out that, hey, there wasn't enough that we did defensively to support back. But maybe that second game in a row for Mackenzie, just a little bit out of character from what we've seen. Just what are your thoughts after he came back from this injury?
Yeah, he's got to get in the groove. He hasn't played enough hockey. He's got to get going, Like, we're going to need him to be really good. He started the year pretty good when he got back from injury, in and out of the lineup a lot, managing some of the injuries. I mean, there's no question he can play a lot better than what we've seen over the last couple of games, and we're going to need him to, right? Like, I think our goaltending through the first part of the season was really good, and that's why we were winning on a nightly basis. It's also why we were, winning by multiple goals every night, and it seemed like it was a little bit easier. That's kind of gone away for us here a little bit recently, and we're shorthanded, so the whole package isn't where it was, so we're gonna need our goalies to be better, right? But we have confidence he can get there, but he's got to get playing some hockey here. Last
two, Bailey, then D-Mac.
You talked a little bit about Parker Kelly's elevated game on the third line, but I'm wondering the influence you see on guys like Bardakov and Cale Makar, who have mentioned him by name as being a guy who they lean on, or at least he leans on a lot to improve the game.
Well, like, Parker's a true pro. Everything he does is for the team. He's an unselfish guy. And, like, he understands, like, we've had a lot of, turmoil in the bottom six, especially recently, right? And he wants to make an impact in the game, and so he's helping those guys. Like, he's a great leader that way. He's helping those guys every chance he gets. He's talking to them pre-game, after the pre-scout meeting, during the game, on the bench, because he wants his line to have success, and the best way to do that is to elevate the two guys around him, regardless of how much experience they have, right? So I love that from him, and then he's also seeing time, like with guys like Jack and Kivy, which we're getting some good shifts out of now that they're back again. And he's just trying to make the biggest impact on the game as he can, and he's done that both on the defensive side of it and offensively. He's chipping in as well. I think that's 10 goals for Kels tonight. It's a heck of a start to the season.
D-Mac, finish it.
Pretty long homestand. How'd you sum it up in total, if you looked at the whole thing in 7 games?
Well, if we'd won tonight, I'd have been really happy. 4-1-2, right? I think that's a good homestand. Losing tonight and just the way we lost kind of puts a bitter taste in my mouth. So I'd say for our team, regardless of personnel and some of the stuff we're going through right now, I'd say just not quite good enough.
Yeah, thank you, Jared.
Thank you.
Just from your perspective, what happened there in the third?
Yeah, just seemed like we weren't really into it at times. Came out flat and just not checking hard and pushing guys off the puck, and that's what happens. A couple of bounces and ends up in the back of our net. So
this might be a silly question, but do you have any explanation for why you maybe think that happened? Why you guys didn't really have your jump there in the third?
No, I felt like we had all the momentum coming out of the second. Obviously, staying in it, getting 3 goals, and then I felt like we were going to have a good start to the third. And weird. I don't know if we were just looking for offense and nobody wanted to play defense or what, but definitely take a look at it because unacceptable for the most part.
This is kind of the frustration level with the power play where you guys seem to have some games where it's good and then go through these stretches where it's struggling.
Yeah, we just got to be more consistent with it. It's a tough play. It's a great read by their guy on that one, and it's unfortunate. I just tried to get it over there and get to the net. I think we're trying to do the right things. It's just right now it's just not clicking at times, and it's been a story of the year. So for us as a group, it's not like we're not trying to get better and we're not trying to improve. It's we're working every day trying to come up with new ways to solve this little issue that we have. But it's going to come. We just got to stay positive with it and move forward.
Is there anything you guys can do here, turning this into a positive, going through some adversity, finding, who you guys are as a group?
In terms of
Just the stretch you guys are going through right now.
as a team? Or,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's big roles that are out. We have guys that can fill it, and I just feel like we haven't played a full 60 minutes yet in the last at least couple of games here, since Washington. We know we're capable of it. It's just it seems like we have those little lapses here and there, and those are the really costly ones for us right now, whether that's off the rush or just D-zone coverage wise. So for us, we're generating offense, creating scoring chances and shots on net, but we got to find ways to be better defensively because those are going to lead to better offensive chances for us.
You guys have been great on home ice all season long, but are you looking forward to maybe changing things up and getting on the road here?
Yeah, we've obviously been home for a while. I think this was an important one though. Felt like we hadn't been home for quite a bit of the season, so a little bit of a tough way to finish the home stretch here. But at the end of the day, we got a really tough road trip here that we're going out east to play some good teams. And again, we got to look at that game and make sure that we come out and don't do that again because we put ourselves in a position where we felt like we could win that game in the third. And then, I don't know what really happened there.
Yeah, thanks, Cale.
Thanks. The group was looking too much on the offensive side of the ice, not supporting back enough. Just from your perspective, that third period, what happened there?
Just a couple of good chances and they capitalized.
How did you feel? I know you had some time off and you've played a couple games since being back. How are you feeling physically?
Fine.
Mackenzie, you guys have been so good on home ice all season, but just with this little bit of stretch you guys are having, is it something you're looking forward to getting on the road here?
Yeah, I don't think it really matters. I think, just got to play the right way.
Thanks, Mackenzie.
Good. Just how does it feel to be back? Like, what are the emotions when you first see this group of guys?
No, it's an awesome group, and it's like the '96 team. When you win with a team, it's always something special. It doesn't take a lot of seconds before you start laughing. We had a really good run together, and this group was a good group too. I think it was a little more mature than the '96 team. We had some. 96 was a little more crazy, but I think this group, because when we got together after we lost to Dallas the year before, and we got together in training camp, and we had one mission that was just to win the Stanley Cup, and then you do it in the end. It was a great feeling. Yeah, so it's a good feeling when we come back and see everybody. Yeah.
How much did that loss in Dallas Game 7 fuel that next season?
I think it was a lot, Then Reid decided to come back, and it was like, okay, we're not going to get too many more chances now. The year before when we lost, he came in kind of right before the playoffs and at the deadline, and then we got to know him he's such an unbelievable person and a player. So we're like, okay, we got to get together, we got to win, and I think that's just carried out from preseason, and then we decided we want home ice advantage. We're not gonna, take a day off throughout the year and try to get home ice. And I guess it worked in our favor twice there in the run. So it meant a lot for the whole group that Ray stayed and played another year for sure.
Just to be on the team where you see that moment where Joe hands the cup to Ray, what goes through your mind when a player of that stature after 2 decades gets that moment?
I think it also shows a lot about Joe. You give him away the cup like that, and I think Ray was a big part of that team for sure. And I was just coming out. I was hurt the last few rounds, but I was on the ice here, and of course it was emotional. I remember Ray skating the last 30 seconds. He was crying on the ice, and finally the game was over. And after that, to be honest, I don't remember too many things, but it was for sure it had to be good.
Did you? People talk about how tough hockey players are. Was there any thought in your mind that you could skate the first couple finals after having the spleen removed?
Yeah, I went skating by myself there. Nobody knew because the doctor told me that actually the spleen was gone, so I'm not going to die for that anymore. So it was more like just the muscle there. And to be honest, I asked Pierre before Game 6, we lost at home, like, can I please play? and he said, no way. Winning the cup is one thing, but your health is another, so we're not going to let you play. So I did ask him though, but he turned me down pretty fast. I'm like, I told him like I've been skating by myself, but I don't think he knew that I've been skating, so he thought I was kind of lying maybe. I did actually go skate at I think it was some Big Bear or something that late at night for a week or two, but to be honest, I don't think it's great that I didn't play, but maybe we lost if I played, so it worked out pretty well.
You're here for the second time, obviously, one of the only guys. You're talking about losing to Dallas in Game 7, kind of that feel in your stomach, and now you're looking at this team first in the league, coming off a 7-game series, lost to Dallas. Like, are you starting to see some similarities?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think it's, but Florida won twice, and I think maybe did Tampa win two years in a row too. But I think, if I think back, it was actually really draining to go all the way. And I think for us, we went to the semifinals with Dallas in maybe '99 and 2000, and then it takes a lot. I think this team, though, I think is ready mentally to pay the price to go all the way. I think they have a couple of tough losses like the last couple of years, so I think they feel they have a good shot to go all the way this year. So I'd be very surprising if there was anything wrong with the motivation of this team. And I think they know they have a good shot at it, so I think they have a good shot.
Is there any extra pride being part of this organization? Like, you won 2 cups, they've already won 1, and just seeing what they're doing right now?
Well, I think if they don't win, then we can say we're double as good as they. I don't think they want to hear that, so I think they're ready to win, yeah, for sure.
When talking with some of the players this morning, guys like Victor Olofsson mentioned that he was very close with you and idolized you growing up. What does that mean to you, know that you can talk to some of these players, see what they're capable of, and knowing that you were an idol for them?
Well, yeah, I don't know if we're an idol, but yeah, Victor we grew up in the same moto back home, and then he's here and have a shot to win, so we play golf in the summer, and we got married at my golf course, so it's pretty cool. So, of course, it's a good feeling to be part of this organization, and I think we did a thing in the TV this morning and talked about when we came from Quebec and how good and how awesome it was to come to Denver and put hockey on the map. So I'm not sure they all have us as idols, but I think it was great that we were part of that group that brought hockey here to Colorado, I would say that.
How excited are you for the representation of Sweden in the upcoming Olympics?
Sweden, we haven't done that well lately in the World Championships and in the Olympics, so I think Canada, US are the favorites, but after that we have a shot. Maybe we can go all the way, but it's gonna be tough to beat Canada and the US. After four nations there, I think, and the roster those teams have, it's gonna be a little tough to beat them, but hopefully we can do it. In the Olympics, anything can happen, I guess. If you watched back in the 80? Yeah, Lake Placid, so anything can happen.
Your last ones, please, Peter. Okay, thank you very much.
Forever, did it feel like 10 minutes in, you guys all, it was right back to 25 years ago?
You fall right back in, and that's, I was really looking forward to, I wasn't sure when it was going to happen, if they were going to do it, the end of this year or the beginning of next year, but I was really hoping and looking forward to our 25th reunion, and it's going to be a special one. It's great to be back.
What do you remember now, a couple decades removed from that team, and for you to be able to raise the cup? A lot of us here locally still associate it with your moment.
Just an amazing team that was really dedicated to doing what we needed to do. Bob Hartley talked about really paying attention to detail and trying to be one of the best defensive teams in the league. we all knew that scoring, shouldn't be a problem, but defending to win it all by, the experience that we had, getting to the semifinals, the 7th game against Dallas, and just looking back on maybe some of the stuff that we needed to do better, and talking about it first day of camp and really challenging the team to really commit to that, and we end up being the best defensive team in the league. And Patrick, having an amazing year, and Joe winning the Hart, and just everybody buying in and finding a way to get it done in the end. It's so hard, regardless if you're favored or not. It is so hard to win. I played 22 years. I got to the finals 3 times, and I realized that if you're not playing for that 4th win, you're really not playing for the cup. And it was so much fun to be part of that game.
You're involved in maybe one of the most iconic Stanley Cup moments. You and Joe there with that handoff. What do you remember about that moment when he calls you over to hand the cup to you?
Well, I remember Joe on the flight home from New Jersey just asking me how we were going to do the cup thing, and I'm like, we're not talking about that right now. I said we're going to win the game first and we'll have plenty of time. But Joe was just an amazing, classy, great captain, and an amazing person. Hall of Fame player, but as a person, he was so conscious of how, of just making that moment very special for me. And I'll always appreciate that move that Joe and I. He won the Hart Trophy, but I joke about that being the best assist he had all year was passing me the cup.
You only played here for about a year and a half, but your numbers in the rafters. What does this city and this fan base mean to you?
Very special. I mean, what I lived here in 15 months, I could never forget. The organization, the players, the fans, what they gave to myself and my family will never be forgotten in terms of the Bourque clan here.
After Game 5 of that Stanley Cup final, everybody was kind of counting you guys out. I remember you saying before you guys got on the plane for Game 6, the plan was to go out there and bring it home. How confident were you, or was there a little bit of doubt going on?
I think we're a very confident group. I really think that, we talked about if we really, really leave it all on the ice and we could all look at ourselves in the mirror after the game and really be honest with ourselves and leave it out there totally 100% that with the talent we have in this room, I really thought that there's no way we're losing that game. And saying that, thank God Patrick was up to task for the first 10 minutes because they came out really hard at us, and once Adam scored that goal, we kind of took off from there and took control of the game.
Your career speaks for itself, but do you ever think about now, would you have been fulfilled without a championship? I mean, your career is its career, but some players say, I could have lived if I'd ever won one, but do you?
I think we can. I mean, there's so many great players. I played with John Rattel, Brad Powell. You think of a guy like Dan Marino, Hall of Fame careers and all that. You know what, you could live with it, but I'll tell you, it's a lot better living with winning one. And having that, just the whole experience that comes with it, afterwards, just on the ice with the cup, the fans, winning it here in front of your fans, the party after in the dressing room, and then, Pierre Lacroix telling me to bring the cup home with me. I have about 15 people here at the game, and I end up turning on my street with all my family and my friends and beeping the horn, and I had a big cooler, putting the cup on the sidewalk, the cooler in the street, and partying with my neighbors and my family till 5:30 in the morning. I mean, those are special moments that you'll never forget. So, not that they're talked about a lot, but when I'm out talking about my experience with the cup, that is a special one.
How special is that relationship between defensemen? What does it make in you doing your job when you have so much trust in a goalie like that?
Well, the goalie's saving my butt many, many times, and us trying to be there for him. And when you got the best goalie in the world behind you, you feel pretty good. And I knew Patrick coming here. We got to spend some time together, All-Star game, or in the summer I'd go back to Montreal, we'd play some golf, but nothing like actually playing with him. And I knew that he was an amazing, one of the best ever, but then you practice, you play with him, and you recognize why. And I've never played, I think, with maybe one other person that was as competitive as Patrick Waugh was Terry O'Reilly, but just his fire in his belly and how he approached every day in practice. Nothing against Abby, but I'd get sick of shooting on Patrick, and you know, he'd get my confidence down in a second. So I'd try to get a couple on Abby. Might have to talk him into letting me score a couple of goals, but he was so much fun. We spent so much time together. You know, I picked him up for every home game. We'd ride together. We sat together in a plane. On the road, he'd always be part of, you know, the group that we'd go out for dinner. So really, really special memories. You know, get to know him on another level.
And what city was it you took the cup back to? Can you believe it's already been 25 years? Right there.
No, actually, it's been great to come back here, but 25 years, it's a long time. Yeah.
You know, what can you say about the city of Denver, this organization, you know, one that you were a part of there for a while?
I think my wife and I, we felt home here right away. And even now, when we get off the plane, we come to Denver. It feels like home. So it's great to be here and see a lot of people that you met over the years.
How often are you in touch with a lot of these guys, Peter, Robbie, and Patrick?
Well, I'm still in hockey. I'm a goalie coach now in the Swiss League, and so I cross paths with a lot of guys, like sooner or later, and you stay in touch once in a while, or you have questions about a player or about a goalie. So you have a pretty good network and some really good players and hockey minds you can.
What was it like to get to play behind a guy like Patrick Waugh, you know, especially at a young age, and just soak up as much as you can from him?
It was great. I mean, I learned a lot of things from him. At first it told me, hey, watch out, it's not easy to be Patrick's backup, but we got along really well. Maybe it was a little bit the end of his career, so he mellowed down a little bit. I speak French, so the communication in French maybe helped too, but I have fond memories of my time here and my time with Pat.
What do you remember most about that 2001 playoff run? I know you didn't get to play, but...
I played actually, but just a couple seconds to rest the first PP. What I remember is the whole road. I mean, it was my first year in the NHL, which was great. I had my first win. Patrick had beat the record. We won the President's Trophy. So the whole road to winning the cup was a great experience for me, and everything was new. So there was a lot of things that I enjoyed and get used to the life in the NHL.
Do you look back on it ever and you look at some of the names on that roster and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got to play with all of these guys at once?
Oh yeah, we're really fortunate to have a chance to play with so many great hockey players, and it's been great to see a lot of those guys last night again and trading stories, so we had a blast.
You got to do the thing in 2001, but being able to look at this roster currently and seeing what some of these guys are capable of, I mean, what are your impressions of this team right now?
Like this team, I mean, I saw him play in December live, and it's a fun team to watch. Like, play really fast, have some exceptional players, and I think their goaltending is good, and I think they have a pretty good chance to go all the way.
On the note of goaltending, you said you're a goalie coach, so right now to see kind of the evolution of the backup goalie role and how much they play, like what is your kind of your take on goaltending now?
Well, it's a little bit a mixed feeling, a little bit. I think maybe in the past we didn't do everything right. Now there's a lot of 1A, 1B, depends a little bit on the teams. But the game is faster, it takes a lot out of you. It's tough to play 60 games like some goalies did in the past, but I think we're going to find a middle ground long term maybe about how we we did it before and we do it now. So I think right now we still need that number one that plays a lot of games, and you don't have as many back-to-backs. And, I mean, rest period is important, injury prevention, but I think some could have a little bit of higher load.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. 25 years. One, can you believe it? And two, what's it like to be back here in this building?
It's pretty cool. It's the first time I've been back in this building since June 9th in 01. So coming back in the building, we were here this morning, they brought us down and saw the locker room. I'm trying to look at the new locker room. What a facility. I'm saying, okay, where did I sit? I had Soak with the trainer. I was like, man, where did I sit here? He's like, where was the door to the ice? So yeah, it's really cool. We walked out to check the ice, and this place was so loud in June 9th. For those of you who remember who were here, it was like incredibly loud. And it's kind of surreal. I don't think I came back in the building after that. And then when you come into an empty building and you're looking around, it's like, okay, it's pretty cool. Yeah. So it's kind of brings back a lot of great memories.
Speaking of those memories too, I mean, obviously lifting the cup is probably a big one for you, but when you look back at that team and all the memories you created, what are some of your favorites?
Oh, I mean, we had such great players and great moments throughout the course of the year. I think the thing for me was the year before when we lost in the conference final to Dallas, and we just couldn't score. It was a fantastic series, but it was low scoring, and defensively we were good, but we just couldn't find a way to get the extra goal. And I think we all felt to a man that we were the better team and that we should have won that year as well. And then when we started the year, it was pretty much we're gonna win, and we're gonna win every game, and that was kind of the mentality we had. And it started at day one in training camp, and we went through winning 52 games. We probably could have won more, but it was just the whole team concept, and everybody knew the role in the team. And I think there weren't a lot of changes from the year earlier. We made some, obviously, the trade deadline when we brought in Stevie Reinprecht and Rob Blake, and we lost Adam and Aaron Miller. But everybody had a role, and this is what I'm going to do. And Joe won the Hart. He went 51 goals and was absolutely incredible from start to finish. But everybody played their best and was at their best all the time. And to me, that was just, we were way before what they did, I guess you could say, with the Pats, and it's just do your job type thing, the way Brady was so efficient. But that was us. We were efficient. And we were harder on each other in practices than we were in games, and we played games. So I think it started in day one of training camp. We were going to win, and we did.
After that Game 5 loss to New Jersey here, how tough was that to stomach, considering you guys were almost up 3-1 in that series, but you got that late goal?
You know what? It really wasn't that difficult to stomach. I think disappointment was probably more of the word that I look back on in that game, because that was the moment where we would have given ourselves two opportunities to lose one, and in that game we just let it slip away. And the whole situation with having Ray there, and being a teammate with Ray, to win it, with Ray and that type of thing. I think that was the disappointing thing, is that we let that opportunity slip away. But we did it. Like, they didn't beat us, we beat ourselves, and that's what our mentality was. We were disappointed in the fact that we just didn't play well enough, and I think that came through in Game 6. The nervousness in Game 6 showed at the start when we played terrible in the first period, and Patty stood on his head the whole period. And the reason I remember that is I took a period penalty about 5 minutes in. I took about 2 penalties my whole year, and I'm sitting in the box going, please don't score, please don't score. And Patty was incredible, and then Footy scored a floater from the blue line on Marty, and we won the game 4-0. And the next 5 periods, I don't think we ever even thought that we were going to lose after the first period in New Jersey in Game 6. So I think it was more disappointment that we let something that, let that game slip away, because we didn't play well in that game. I give the other team credit, but if we had played well, they wouldn't have won.
So when Gomez scores that goal, kicks that goal, and it gets overturned, was that kind of a wake-up? Did that kind of help turn the momentum for you guys in that game?
No, I don't remember that one. It was that Game 6. I don't remember that. Yeah, in the first period?
Kicked it in right away. Patrick was screaming that he kicked it and then he overturned it.
I don't remember that. I thought I remembered most things, but I don't remember that one. You know what? We didn't play well that whole period though. Like that, if there was early in the period, we were terrible. Like I don't know what the shot final was, but they killed us in the shot clock. And I don't think we really woke up until Footy scored. And I mean, it wasn't a great shot. And I'm sure, you ask anybody, it was a floater from the blue line that Marty stops 99% of the time that he didn't stop. And I think from there, that picked us up and it was like, okay, we can do this. And then I think it might have slouched their shoulders a little bit. And like I said, from then on, that we dominated the rest of that game. And I felt that it was kind of the same through Game 7, that we were in control from the start.
Dave.
That's good. I don't remember the kicked in goal. And we talked a lot last night. Nobody brought that one up. Maybe, you know what? Maybe that's because Patty wasn't here. Patty would have brought that one up. Gomez kicks that one in. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Dave, given what you do now on NHL Network, you've been breaking down plays of this current era of Avs for 8-9 years now.
Yeah.
McKinney, Cale Makar, like, at what point, and are we already there, or like, at what point can you start to compare this era with the Hall of Famers right now?
I think individually, I mean, it's so difficult to compare when you're looking at it. It's funny because we're sitting there chatting as we were doing our autograph today, and Ray Bourque was, 40, 41, I can remember how old he was when he retired, but he was 40-ish. And he was an NHL first team All-Star, and he just didn't play in the All-Star. He was an NHL first team All-Star at 40 years old, and that was it, he quit. So, like, where's that guy in the back end of this team? So not that you need that guy, but our depth on D and our goaltending was our strength of that team. We had Joe and Peter, we had great young players, but we had incredible strength on our back end. And even when you look at the schools and the DeVries and the Clemmers and, with Footy and Ray and Rob, when you look at this team, you build from goaltending out. You can't compare Patrick and the goaltenders of today on any team in the league, so that's not fair. But you have excellent goaltending. Both goaltenders are excellent with the Avs. Then you look at your D. It starts with Cale, and then everybody falls into place behind him, all 7. And you're going to need 8 probably by the time you get there. And then you look at down the middle, and it starts with Nate, and it just and you've got your leadership. Even you hope Gabe gets back in as a contributing factor, but his leadership is incredible for this team. And that's when you look at this team, very few teams in the league can match up what the Avs have got. So to compare and say, who's your Forsberg, who's your Sakic, who's your Drury, who's your Tanguay, on the back end, who's your Bourque or your Blake, and then I don't think you can compare it, but the comparable is the way this team's playing and the way we played with that win mentality. And it was like, when we played in 01, it was, let's win the game in the first period. Let's make sure this team we take their will away in the first period and we're up by a couple. And we did it consistently, and I think that's what you see with this team. They take teams' wills away to play, is because they're so fast, they're so good, they can play so physical. And whatever a team tries to throw at them, they're going to match and then some. And usually halfway through the game, it's like, this is 2 points in the bag. And that's the comparison I think I would make with our team and this team, is that, they look at it, and I was like, are these guys going to be like the Habs? Are they going to lose 10 regular? And that's the type of thing in the locker room that I'm sure they're like, we're not. We're going to make sure we're winning, and we're going to change and make sure we don't lose, 2 games in the next 2 weeks type of thing. That's a comparison that I kind of see with this team.
So is that a message to the front office? They got to beef up the blue line, or?
No, you know what? It's a lot more difficult. Mr. Conkey, we had tremendous. From Pierre Lacroix to the resources that the Conkey family and Mr. Conkey gave us and allowed us, because we didn't play with a salary cap, thank goodness. So it's a lot easier, I think, then to be able to go and do that. It's much more difficult, and that's the challenge with every team, is to be able to get that 6, 7, 8 defenseman. And we had, Mearsey's here. Mearsey was, and Prater. I mean, we had guys who weren't playing who would have been regulars on other teams, and it's difficult to do that in today's game. Very difficult. And I think that's what you'll find at the trade deadline. there were very few GMs like Pierre Lacroix. I don't care of all the GMs out there who can pull off the deals that Pierre did over the years. Pierre was remarkable with the deals that he made. I mean, we get Ray Bourque one year and we get Rob Blake the next, and we gave up Adam Bednar, who was he and Peter were incredible as line mates, and that was a risky move to give up really Peter's right winger and take the chance. And then we picked up Steve Reinpeck, who was tremendous for us in the playoffs, and he was like an unknown commodity coming out of LA, and Aaron Miller was great for us. So nobody does that. That's difficult to do in today's game, and I don't think it's a challenge I think it's a challenge to any team, but it's difficult to find those players and bring them in and be successful. It was, not that it was easy back then, but it was easier with no salary cap.
The accountability aspect you described earlier, being tough on each other in practice, who were some of the biggest drivers of that?
Well, with us, I played with Ray from when I was drafted in '82, I would say, and we practiced harder. Like Bob put us through some tough practices at times we didn't think we needed to be out as long as we did, and the drills were a lot of one-on-one battle drills. And when you're playing against future Hall of Famers like we had, and you're doing battle drills with Joe and Peter and Ray and Blakey and Footy and even Chris Drury and the young guys, like you elevate your game. And I learned it early in my career when I was with the Bruins that I'm playing with some great players, and practice was hard. And that was the accountability that we've got to show up and work harder in practice, and that made the games easy. And then our inner accountability was we knew what we did right and wrong, and we knew we didn't do a lot of things wrong that year, but we held each other to a standard. But that started with how we did it in practice. And we practiced a lot more than I think the guys practiced now. We didn't get a day off every couple of weeks or whatever they get now, but that's where it started. We just had, I always say I was very fortunate. I played on some really good teams, and I played with a lot of Hall of Famers, especially late in my career. And when you practice with great players, you become a much better player. I think Casey Middlestad said it when he came here, how difficult practice was. He says, these guys, this practice is so much faster. Well, that's why Colorado's the best team, and Buffalo was in, not making the playoffs, because their level of practice, unless you're there, you don't understand it. Once you're there, you understand it, and then you bring guys in and they're like, holy cow, like that's the winning atmosphere that this organization has provided since day one. And when you come in here in '96 with that team, in the 95-6 team, that tradition hasn't disappeared, and the leadership, from Gabe and Nate and Cale, that's it's like, this is how we practice, this is how we play, and if you're not going to be able to do it, then we don't have to tell you you're going to be gone, but we're going to find people to do so. I think that's one of the keys to the success of this organization, and again, that started way back when with Pierre Lacroix at the helm, the guys that transformed this organization into what they started at, what we were in '01.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.